inform them about today's class. So, okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to our teenager session. And every Saturday we meet at 4:30 and we discuss the 108, one of the shlokas from the 108 important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And all of you have been wonderfully participating, asking us relevant questions, and we get messages from parents saying that, yes, my child, I see a lot of difference in terms of his or her behavior and how, children are coping with difficulties in general. So we feel really happy, that, yes, we have a wonderful group of Vaishnavas in the making, and you are the future leaders. So children, today we have a wonderful speaker, Devashish Prabhu. Most of you have met him earlier in our sessions, and we also have his good wife, Shweta Mataji, who prepares the PPTs for us, the wonderful PPTs that you see in all the sessions. And they have been serving ISKCON Whitefield since many years, and as a family, they have a small son, he's 7-year-old. His name is Avyuk. He's also a wonderful kirtanya and a nice dancer. He's a very cute child. And today we have Prabhu speaking to all of you on the context of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhuji has also served ISKCON Michigan. And over to you, Prabhu. So before we start, children, let us chant. I would request all of you to switch on your video so that we have a better connect with Prabhu. So let us chant once for Prabhu and welcome him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for coming today and speaking to our children. Hare
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the introduction. And I have been seeing these beautiful children in your class, wonderfully reciting shlokas and participating with so much of joy and enthusiasm. So, children, can you hear me? Can anyone? Okay, good. All right. So, yesterday was Gaur Purnima. So, can anyone say what they did in for the eve of Gaur Purnima? How did you celebrate? Mataji, do we have to unmute any one of them? Or?
Yes, just raise your hands, children. Just raise your hands electronically and I'll unmute them. Do you want to tell us what you did in Gaur Purnima? Okay, Akshaya is there. Okay, Akshaya. Anandita, sorry. Anandita, please unmute yourself. Yes, Anandita, go ahead, please. Please tell us, what did you do yesterday in the Gaur Purnima festival? We can't hear you though. Hare Krishna, Anandita.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, yesterday on Gaur Purnima, we made some gunjiyas and then we offered them to the Lord. We also, the restrictions were there, so we were not able to play Holi with colors, but I took some color and then I applied it on the deity of Radha Krishna, and that was how I played my Holi, and I chanted 2 extra rounds.
Oh, fantastic, Anandita. That was such a wonderful thing to do. Chant extra rounds and, applying colors and celebrating with your deities. That was so exciting. Thank you for sharing. Is there anybody else? Like, I think Akshay also wanted to share, or it is
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, nearby our house, they have opened one Krishna temple yesterday, and I went for that and spent a lot of time in there. Like I woke up morning early and completed my chantings, and I went there, and I came back at evening. So I was enjoying my entire day with Krishna, and there are many devotees from ISKCON. There was like
Wonderful.
as chanting with
Wonderful.
them, some kirtans.
Wonderful. What is your name?
Akshaya.
Akshaya. Okay. Akshaya. Thank you so
Prabhu,
much,
she's the
Akshaya.
one. Actually, she's the one. Ever since we've started our classes from last 2 years, she's been diligently taking attendance in both Saturday and Sunday classes.
Right. Yes. I remember seeing her name and doing this seva. Thank you so much, Akshaya, for sharing and doing this seva and enlightening us with what we should do on such Madhav Tithis, right? These are called Madhav Tithi. So on each of these Madhav Tithi, we should do what we must do more and more on that day to immerse in that feeling, in that sweet nectar of Lord in the service, in the devotional service, and taking association of wonderful devotees, participating in doing kirtan and seeing or doing abhishek, and obviously there is a feast to enjoy at the end, and serving Vaishnavas to the best that we can. Thank you so much. So we will start for today. I will share my screen now. So we have 2 shlokas for the day. Mataji, can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu. I have. It just says ISKCON Whitefield. I started sharing screen.
Okay. Can you see the PPT now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Good. So today we have 2 shlokas from chapter 2, the shloka number 59 and shloka number 62. Mataji, do we do prayers today or?
Yes, Prabhu, you could only recite the prayers. So that's okay. Yes, they can hear you recite.
Okay. Okay. So let's do our prayers. First, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Sadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghugunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpa tarayobhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for reciting prayers with me. I saw a few videos. Thank you so much. Like Deepika's. So we have 2 shlokas today. Okay, Saket has raised his hand. I don't know for what. Do you want to read the shloka or something?
I think, Prabhu, we will go ahead. Children, whatever message, with whatever doubts you all have, you can put it in the chat box and I'll help you out so that we don't disturb Prabhuji. So what we'll do is, children, in the end of the session, we'll have just write down your doubts, note them down, and we'll ask Prabhu in the end of the session.
And if you wanted to recite the shloka, we can also give you a chance. Okay. Okay, so this is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, shloka number 59. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasa varjanam raso apya asya param drishtva nivartante. Translation: though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for the sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So we have learned so far how the mechanism of mind, right? How our senses are so so clever, right? They get to what they want, right? So in the next slide, we can see how this embodied soul, that means the living soul, like us, who is embodied in this body, is when we want to do something constructive, like you're studying, right, for your exams, and you're studying, but somehow a thought comes. Your senses are attracted to something, like maybe an ice cream in your fridge, or there is some good smell of food or flower, or there is an idea, or somebody shares about some movie or anything, or music, or a touch of a feather or something, and your mind just gives up on your studies, and it goes where? To the sense object, right? Whether it's something that you like to eat, you're trying to restrict yourself, but it's very hard. So Krishna is actually giving a lot of details in this shloka, that even if you are trying to restrict yourself, the senses are attracted, because we have had the taste of your favorite food, whether it's a chocolate or it's ice cream, it's anything that you are attracted to as a food, right? Or it's some kind of smell or some kind of music. So those impressions stay with you, and they connect you with that thought of enjoying yourself with that object, right? So however, we learned from the previous shloka that as a sthita pragya, who is fixed in his desire to get Krishna, is able to restrict by experiencing a higher taste. Like Akshaya said, she was engaged in the festival, Gaur Purnima festival, in doing more japa. When it comes to any music, we can sing devotional songs or our bhajans, and try to learn musical instrument and play them with great enthusiasm to please the Lord. And you would have experienced that while doing that, we have a sense of joy, and that sense of joy is a spiritual sense of joy that attaches us to the Supreme Lord. So when we eat prasadam or we honor prasadam, we love it, isn't it? We love that. So that is a higher taste over just giving up your attention to just anything that is calling you, saying, hey, come taste me, I'm a chocolate in your fridge, something like that. So it is good that we restrict ourselves, and we be fixed in our attention and avoid those sensual appeal. So every problem has a solution, right? And we are not seeking for temporary solution, right? So if you like to watch something in your TV, you don't say yourself, oh, okay, just give up that. It will not work for a longer period of time. You can restrict yourself for a day or two, but if somebody is watching something on a TV, you will just go and glue yourself with them and say, I'm back. So the permanent solution is to keep bhakti in your heart without falling down. What it means is by tasting the higher realm of spiritual joy. So what is a higher taste? The higher taste is the one who has tasted the beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you have experienced this, you will know how good that is, how sweet is Lord's appearance, how sweet is his pastimes. When you dwell into those whether it's hearing a katha or listening to a lecture um, or a kirtan, and doing some seva, whether it's making flower garlands, or and there is so many seva when you have a festival, or even every day that for your lordship on your altar that you can perform, and you can always keep thinking about that. How do I please my Lord with any sincere attempt that you can do, right? So if you are engaged like that, you will not fall to the temptation of other things that might distract you, right? So you're studying and you want to study good, so that um, you can pass with good marks. And what will you do with those good marks, right? You can offer those good marks or good results or any accomplishment with Krishna, right? So in order to do that, you have to fix your attention to your studies and all the constructive things that you are doing in your daily life. And that also means that you are um, you're doing your japa. You have to keep in your mind that I finish my japa. Don't neglect that. Any service that you're doing, you should not miss it, right? So if you keep doing that, you will keep experiencing the higher taste, and you will not fall into the temptation. Okay. So in bhakti, we get higher taste as we advance. Now you have been attending Mataji's class, and you're advancing. The more and more you advance, we don't have to tell our senses that no, I don't want this, I don't want that. You automatically you are glued to what you should uh, focus to, right? As we get the higher taste, the lower taste goes away. You don't have to worry about the temptations. You will understand, oh, I am only interested in having prasadam because uh, prasadam is tasted by the lips of Krishna. So you don't have to worry about it. As in you keep advancing, this becomes your first nature. So when one is actually Krishna conscious, he automatically loses interest in the pale things. So from a spiritual standpoint, even if those most delicious chocolate and ice cream or whatnot are pale, it's not very high. I mean, even if you want to make some good delicious things, you may do so. It is very wonderful. Your mother cooks wonderful things, and those things can be offered to Krishna, and we can honor that. And by experience this higher taste all the time, or in our day-to-day life, we become fixed in our Krishna consciousness, right? So with that, we will head towards the next shloka, that is chapter number 2, shloka number 62, right? This is a very famous shloka. I think Mataji would have definitely discussed this before. So this goes like Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Upajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodha Abhijayate. So the translation is, while contemplating this object of senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. Okay, let's try to break it down to what this means, right? So contemplating on the sense object. You see these horses, these are our 5 senses. This is eye, this is nose, this is ear, this is touch, this is taste. You know, whenever your senses are attracted to something, we we get out of control, right? And even if you don't want, they take you there, right? So for an example, um, if you're studying and somehow you get a thought, oh, there's a game I want to play, and then you get attracted to them. And if you play that game more and more, which is of course not good, it's not good for your eyes, and it keeps you always distracted, and then you develop an attachment towards it, right? And what are we supposed to attach to? We are supposed to attach to good things, constructive things, things that we can do to please Krishna, right? And then what happens when the attachment happens? Then comes the lust. Lust is the strong desire to fulfill, right? We want to play, means we want to play, right? And if somebody stops us to do that, if your mother and your parents stops you to, no, don't play, don't waste your time, please, don't keep doing that. So what do? We get angry. No, we want to play, means we want to play, we want to get our desires fulfilled, right? It gets us angry, we explode with anger. So this, we have to mm, be mindful of this contemplation. Contemplation means thinking, thinking, keep thinking on it, thinking very deeply on something, right? If you keep thinking of something else while studying, you will be distracted. Will not be able to complete your homework, your classwork. You will not be able to pay attention towards it. The only thing that you would think about that rasgulla or gulab jamun or whatever, or chocolate cake, and or anything that is going on in a TV, or you want to watch it, or you, so you have to understand that those things are not good for you. Or what is good for you to is practice attention to what you are doing. If you are studying, you should study. If there is a playtime, of course there is a playtime for you, and you should go out and play with your friends and tell them about Krishna, about wonderful things that you are experiencing in this class, and tell them stories to Krishna. So we can be engaged in so many things that are constructive and related to Krishna. And so we should always keep our contemplation on good things. If you're thinking on the good things, then you are attached to good things, and and that does not frustrate us. But if we are attached to playing some video games on a phone or our iPad, or we want to watch some cartoon or anything that we want to do that is material in nature, and if somebody stops us, don't do it, then we get angry. So how does anger comes? Krishna says that if you contemplate on any material object, then you you create a deep desire for that. And when that desire is not completed, anything and anybody is obstructing that, you just explode in anger, right? So we have to be careful of that. So with that, I will stop now. Mataji, do you have any comments to make?
Wow, wonderful. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for explaining it in such a simple way, because Bhagavad Gita can sound very confusing sometimes to elders also, but the way you put it is very, very simplified, and you've picked up the right examples. And I'm sure children would have really, be thinking about, what is what Prabhuji has spoken. We can see one more slide on your screen, Prabhu. Would you explain to us what is that about?
Yes. Yes. So when Prabhupada went to West, he saw this problem, right? The problem that the hippies, the hippies, um, who were really into all the wrong things that that they were not supposed to, whether it's intoxication or waste time and drug addiction and meat eating and having no compassion for anyone. So Prabhupada went and taught them the dharma, the yuga dharma of chanting of the holy names. And he could change them. He could change them. He changed so many hippies to now called happies or Hare Krishnas, that they have completely transformed their lives to become very happy. So these momentarily seemingly happy things that we think, oh, if I eat this, if I watch that, it will make me happy. It may make you happy for very little time, but then the result of that happiness is frustration. So Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, has taught us. What did he teach us? He taught us to engage our mind in the service of holy names. So we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Can we chant all? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with that, we can control our mind. We have to fix ourselves in the chanting, the vibrations. These are the transcendental vibration. He says that you can really see Krishna. Yeah, you can really see through this mantra. See, Srila Prabhupada in this picture with his raised hand, he's giving Krishna to everyone. He's making all these hippies see Krishna. They're not interested. They were not interested in that, but they were all enjoying themselves in all these Western culture that they have and that we are adopting to very fast. That they had everything, but they gave up on all those things. They didn't have to go through any painful exercise of leaving drugs or any bad addiction. They just automatically, it happened. They became wonderful devotees and the people that that are very well known in our society. So let's take this path very seriously of chanting the holy names and being attached to the devotional service that we have on a daily basis for the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord, and keep doing it and inspire each other to chant and do kirtan and read Krishna book and become Krishna conscious, so that all the bad habits don't touch us. They just automatically go away. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai, wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you once again. So many points that touched my heart, at least, and I'm sure children would have also thought about it. You know, how Prabhupada is giving Krishna. So a devotee of Krishna, a pure devotee of Krishna, can actually give you Krishna. You know, and what else do you want? And children, we have been, emphasizing on chanting. Chanting is the first and foremost and the most important devotional service. So please make sure that whatever rounds you have promised Krishna, you chant every day. Yes. So now we are open to some questions. Children, would you like to ask some questions before we end the class? And thank Prabhuji for his time. Anybody would like to ask any question related to today's session? You can try and, keep it to this session. But yes, as I announced earlier, that Prabhuji is a life coach. He can also guide you with some other problems that you may be facing. Because every problem has a spiritual solution. So, Bhagavad Gita has all the solutions. Okay. So any questions, children? I think Saket had raised his hand earlier. Saket, did you have a question or something?
Akshaya has.
Okay. Akshaya, unmute yourself, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is not a question. I just wanted to tell the other participant who is joining with me the class a few words. Mataji, these times the participant lists are coming really very low. Mainly in our teens group, they are very low. And like I'm saying, exams are there. Even I know, even I am facing exams. No one is going to take the book and sit 24 hours. We can spend some time for Krishna. And we
that's
can.
coming from a teenager. Wonderful.
I'm feeling really sad for them. They're missing nice sessions of Krishna.
Yes, indeed. They are missing nice sessions. And Akshaya, I am really inspired by your devotion. This is also devotion, attending classes, hearing about Krishna, what Krishna has to tell us through devotees. This is also devotion. Wonderful. So yes, let's make some efforts, call our friends and personally ask them why are they missing out on such wonderful knowledge. Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you for that. Anyone else would like to say anything on this? Or anything else anybody would like to say?
Saket, did you want to recite the shloka?
No, Saket wants to ask something. Saket, unmute yourself.
He's saying, Mataji, why? Yeah.
Mataji, so now, why is it that only in India and a few other countries, people are good and they are Krishna conscious, they don't indulge in bad habits, but in other countries, they don't believe much in God. I mean, why is it like that?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why is it that it's only spread in India?
So Lord Chaitanya's mission is to spread this Krishna consciousness everywhere, right? Through the means of holy names. And that is why Prabhupada went to the Western countries like US, Europe, and other countries to give this mercy of Lord Chaitanya to everyone, right? So the bad habits or those intoxication or meat eating, and it is also there in India. We can see it around. So bad habits are in everyone. So we can control those bad habits by chanting the holy names and be sincere in our chanting. So when you chant, Saket, do you chant?
Like sometimes.
Yes. So sometimes when you chant, you would see that the mind is not cooperating with you. It is not letting you just listen to those mantras. It's called mantra meditation, right? So when you meditate on mantra, your mind just does not cooperate with you. So but you have to keep doing. It's just like when you're studying, your mind is not maybe with you, and but it's the same thing when you try to pay attention. So the first thing you do in the morning is do chanting of the holy names on your beads, or however you do this chanting of 108 or times, or one round or two round. You do it giving 100% and keep telling your mind, no, I want to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for 108 times or more, how much ever you can. And you will see that you will have greater attention for all the time. When you're studying, you will have greater attention. Whatever you are doing, you have greater attention and power of your own mind. So this problem does not prevail only in Western countries, because we are adopting the Western culture, right? Did we eat pizza before? Maybe in your in your time. Yes, go ahead. You you want to say something, Saket? Go ahead.
Prabhuji, but then why is it that still maximum people only in India uh, em- uh, embrace Krishna consciousness and not in other countries?
Yeah, so that is because we have the roots where our culture are tied with Vedas, right? So Mataji has sent something in chat, and that so Mataji often quotes this: Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janama Yara Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Para Upakara. So whoever is born in India is a special opportunity for them to, as a human being, uh, to make his life successful and benefit all other people. Like Srila Prabhupada is born here, and he's taught this Krishna consciousness and gave mercy of the Lord to everyone, even if you are Indian or non-Indian, and they all are now preaching and benefiting everybody.
Prabhuji, but then in India, at first there used to be Buddhism. Then Buddhism died out because some invaders came and destroyed monasteries. But the same thing invaders did to Hinduism and Krishna consciousness. Uh, but Krishna consciousness did still survive. How did that happen? Because Buddhism was almost destroyed in India, though it was the root.
So Krishna comes to this material world time to time in different forms, right? He comes in as Krishna, he comes as Buddha, he comes as so many incarnations to establish what? Dharma, right? He wants to establish dharma. So and again and again, demoniac nature will try to wipe off dharma, and again Krishna will come and protect the devotees and establish dharma. So we'll now go to somebody else. Somebody else has also raised his hand. Rishikalp. Thank you, Saket. Rishikalp. Yes.
I actually wanted to just answer to Saket's question that like the majority people in India believe in Krishna consciousness is because Krishna was born here, and Buddha and they all came in different incarnations of Krishna. Just exactly what you said, Prabhuji. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much.
He was born here, and then majority people followed him.
Yes. Wonderful. Rishi. Thank you so much. So if there are no more questions, we'll end the class. Let's all raise our hands and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please, children, keep chanting, keep your focus on your studies for your exams and get good marks, and become first, second, third, or whatever you come. Give all your results to your deities, Krishna, there, right? All right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you once again for enlightening our children and telling them some nice facts. And then, children, I'm sure all of you will follow in your own possible ways how we can practice Krishna consciousness in our lives. Yes, so we will please encourage your friends, more and more friends, to join these classes, because these type of classes, which are very interactive, are not found, in many forums. So yes, Saket, we will answer your question. Yes, you can write to us again. Okay, write to us. Time is short, so we are ending the class right now, but we'll definitely entertain your question. Okay, so let us thank Prabhuji once again, so that Prabhuji may really come again and enlighten us sometime and talk to all of you about various topics. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, everyone.